Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. In today's video, I thought it would be really fun to draw my followers. I recently made a post on Instagram calling on your help to help me find some new photo references to do my portrait studies from, because I am getting really tired of looking on Pinterest and on Instagram for these photo references. And so I thought it'd be a really fun way to get a little bit more involved with my community and also have more variety of faces to draw from. And the first photo that I'm gonna draw from was one of the earliest submissions, I believe. It is a photo by Grace Busato. Thank you so much for participating. Now, what I really like about this photo is that it is in natural light, which is one of the things that I did mention. And why I like natural lighting is because usually you can clearly make out the shadows. There's a clear directionality in the light, so I can clearly tell the light is coming from this way and the shadows are being cast this way. And I feel like there are a lot of kind of interesting shapes that I can make out in this photo that's being made by her hand here. And this interesting shadow shape on this side of the face. I feel like open mouths are definitely a little bit more challenging to draw, but I will try my best. The purpose of these is for me to have more like variety of faces to study from. So please don't expect like anything too grand. I just want to have fun with these. And yeah, I think it'd be kind of a nice surprise for my followers if they see themselves getting drawn. Yeah, you gotta be careful with an open smile face. It can get scary real quick. But I really love some of these interesting shadow shapes I'm seeing here. It's been really humid here in Toronto lately. It's been raining a lot, and my place doesn't have the greatest ventilation. So the humidity level in my place is really high, and I feel like it's just soaking all of my papers, and I can feel that this sketchbook page is pretty damp, and I feel like my pencil is just kind of sinking into the paper a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to deal with this humidity issue. I might have to go get like a dehumidifier, because I just can't open up the windows enough to have enough of a cross breeze. So the tricky thing about drawing people that, they're like real people, you do feel a sense of pressure to like get the likeness right. And sometimes it's not really the focus of my drawing. Sometimes I'm just focused on getting a certain feature or getting the lighting, not necessarily focusing on the actual likeness. So I feel like, or I already feel kind of the pressure to try to get the likeness right here so that I don't offend my followers. But with this one, I am kind of having fun, just trying to get these interesting shadow shapes in place and the lighting to look pretty convincing. And I really like this like bright specular highlight on the nose here, so I'm going to make sure I get that in. But I also have to be careful to not go overboard on the nose, because I do tend to do that. trying to get that highlight to look bright. So I will have to tread lightly there and trying to get this overall shadow shape locked in. Let's see, does that look okay? Right now it doesn't look convincing, but I promise you, well, I will try. I'll try my best. It will look better than how it looks now. So yeah, trying not to go too dark with the nose there. And we can always pull back with an eraser if need be. I may also try bringing in my blending stump. I also want to leave a little highlight on the lip here so that we have some variety in terms of textural quality, make certain things a bit shinier than others, makes a picture more interesting. I want to show the roundness of the cheek. And I'm trying to get this shadow shape of the hair. Combine it with the shadow of the side of the face for simplicity's sake. It's a technique that I cover in my Skillshare class, my portrait drawing Skillshare class. Or if you're not aware of it or if you haven't checked it out, then I would recommend checking it out if you are interested in learning more about my portrait drawing technique, because that's where I go more into depth about how I set up the portrait, and then I block out these shadow shapes, and I build up the portrait. So I'm carving out some of these darker shapes that I'm seeing in the hair, hoping it gives the hair a sense of structure. Also trying to follow the direction of the hair, like strands, when I'm trying to shade these darker values. But for the most part, I think I'm gonna keep the hair pretty simple. Yeah, I can feel the paper is so damp. I hope I don't accidentally rip the paper. Just carving out some of the negative shapes there to suggest what the hair is doing. I'm cleaning up the silhouette a little bit. Let's see, how can we finish this in a fairly quick manner from this point? I'm gonna bring in the blending stump and see if we can finish the hair with this. Sometimes I have a love and hate relationship with the blending stump. Sometimes it works out and sometimes I just end up making things worse. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna get, but let's try it out. Well then, maybe that was not advised. Okay, well, let's try to bring this back a little bit. Yeah, whenever you go in with a blending stump, I find I always have to go back in with a pencil afterwards. Alright, let's focus on the face first. I feel like I've been kind of neglecting that. Man, expressions are hard. Yeah, I expected better results than this, but you know, it's my first one, so please be forgiving. First one of the day. All right, what else? What else? All right, let's finish it up by punching up some of the darker accents. Also maybe draw in the teeth. Gotta be really careful with this as well. Don't want to make them too prominent, the individual teeth. Yeah, this is hard. Maybe I picked a hard one to start with. The lighting is great, and I can see everything very clearly, which is exactly what I was looking for, but just gonna soften the hairline a little bit. Something about this area that doesn't look right to me. Maybe I went a little bit too dark here. Hopefully I will have better luck on the next ones. I'm sorry, Gracie, or Grace. Well, I think that is as good as this is going to get at this point in time. So yeah, let's move on from this one. Thank you so much again, Grace Busado, for participating and submitting your photo for me to draw. Hopefully you don't mind how this one turned out. Thank you for being my first little guinea pig here. Let me get your eyelashes because I know that's probably important for some of you. There. Actually, this looks a little bit too dark on the screen. All right, thank you so much again, Grace, for submitting your photo. I hope you like how it turned out. So the next photo is a photo by Summer Neal. It's a really great photo. I picked it because the lighting is very clear. You know, get that directionality with the lighting. I know exactly where the light is coming from, and therefore where the shadows are being cast. It just makes it really easy for me to understand the features and the forms of her face. And so yeah, that's why I'm gonna be drawing from this one next. Hopefully I do a better job than I did with Grace's. I am sorry, Grace. You were my first guinea pig here. Maybe I will end up switching from using pencil and use something else next time just to switch things up a bit. Because, yeah, I don't really like the feeling of the pencil just kind of sinking into the paper. So first trying to get the general shape of the outer silhouette. It helps me then figure out like how I can lay out the inside of the silhouette. And her head is kind of at a tilt here, so I'm gonna try to get that down correctly. And there's a slight downward tilt to her face, so hopefully I get that coming across right in this block in. But yeah, let's just start kind of blocking out the major shapes that I see. Staying loose during this stage so I can move things around more easily. For Summer Neal's photo here, because the shadows are so striking, I feel like I'm using the negative shapes that I see in between the shadows to try to get the placement of these features correct. Yeah, this is a really great photo to study from. Thank you so much. I really like her just expression here, so I want to make sure I get the eye placement right. I feel like one eye is slightly higher than the other, and I find that really charming, so I'm gonna try to maybe exaggerate that a little bit. Maybe exaggerate how close their eyes are as well, just to kind of make it more obvious. Yeah, this time I am spending a little bit more time on getting everything placed right before going in with the rendering. I feel like that was kind of my downfall with Grace's photo. Ugh, I hope you guys can't hear the construction noise outside. You probably can. I'm gonna give her a highlight on this eye here. So this is gonna be the like ooh eye. Like ooh. And this eye is gonna be the one that kind of takes a back seat. And this is another technique that I cover in my portrait drawing class on Skillshare. I'm actually in the middle of putting another class together for Skillshare. I don't want to say too much in case I end up spending months and months working on it to get it out like last time. But I mean, I guess there's really no point in like hiding it just because that's what I'm gonna be working on for the next few weeks. So yeah, I'm actually in the middle of putting together my next Skillshare class, which is going to be a portrait painting class using watercolor. So I know that's something that a lot of you have been asking for, anticipating, and it's something that I've been wanting to work on for the longest time. So I'm actually really excited about it. I am having a lot of fun just like putting the course outline together and designing the lessons. So yeah, I'm having fun putting it together and really hope that it ends up being a good class. Oh wow, I realized that the video was extremely overexposed. I don't know why my camera does this. I'm gonna bring you in a little bit closer, see if that helps. Sorry about that. I have no idea how much of that was just completely overexposed on your end. That's a shame because I did a lot of neat things. So yeah, I have a few things I'm contending with right now. The construction noise outside, which is great, and my camera going in and out of the exposure. Even when I lock it, it just goes all over the place. I really love like structured noses. I find them really satisfying to try to render them. I'm gonna try bringing in the blending stump here and there to just quickly lay down patches of tone. And I am going to try to be careful with this shadow side of her face because in the photo it does appear very dark, but I have found from experience that when you try to replicate the value like exactly and make it as dark, it kind of ends up flattening out on the page. So we kind of have to be careful with that. And I find that often it doesn't need to be quite as dark as it appears in the photo. As long as you keep your value grouping like intact, yeah, I find it doesn't need to be quite as dark. Oh boy, I have like construction noises coming from all over. Ay, ay, ay. So I'm liking how this one's turning out. I hope you are as well, Summer Neil. I've seen you comment on many of my posts, and I just wanted to show you some appreciation for your support. So yeah, I'm trying to make sure I have all these shadow shapes blocked out before I go in with the local value of her skin tone, just in case I get the two kind of mixed up. And I don't want that. That's going to weaken the lighting that I have established here. You know, maybe I'm not even gonna fill in her hair. Just leave it kind of blank as a stylistic effect so that the focus is on her face. I'm just gonna indicate a few breaks in the hairline so that it doesn't look, so it looks more incorporated and doesn't look too drawn on. Now I'm a little bit tempted to just go over these lighter areas with the blending stump just to avoid maybe creating too many lines that might take away from what we've established here, because I like how this looks so far. So I'm treating the hair a lot more just like sketchily for just like a bit of contrast with the face that's a little bit more refined in its rendering. I really like being able to bring in some contrast like that. Just kind of helps break things up a bit, add more interest. All right, fix the exposure again. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with the blending stuff now, in hopes of just laying down a very light tone for the light part of her skin that is in the light, that's receiving the light, so that the local color of her skin reads as darker skin tone. But I'm being careful to not soften too many things out. I like the rendering that I established in the shadows, so I'm just glazing in this like lighter tone in the light side. Maybe I will go in a little bit darker in the shadows now that we have some context. Maybe I'll go in a... Oh my god, this construction. Please. They're doing renos like all over the building here, so yeah. I'm gonna go in a little bit stronger in with that local value of the skin tone. Yeah, definitely spending way too much time on these, but you guys know by now, once I get into something, like, it's really hard for me to pull myself away. All right, I think we are at a place where I can finally step away from this now. Let me just tidy up the silhouette a little bit. Punch up this eye that is the uwu eye. Pretty happy with this one. I hope you are as well, Summer Neil. I'm just kind of playing around with the contrast a little bit. Okay. Thanks so much again, Summer Neil, for this submission. So for this drawing, I'm going to switch things up a bit and use ballpoint pen in hopes of also drawing this one maybe a little bit quicker than the last two. So this time I'm using a photo from Chrishong San. I like this photo because, again, it is in natural light. I can clearly see where the light is coming from and where the shadows are being cast, and it makes it easy for me to see the features, and this person has features that I want to draw. And so that's really all the reasoning behind it. Please, if you do end up submitting a photo or tagging me in hopes that I may draw you, please do not take it personally if I don't end up drawing you or using your photo in any way. It's not personal. It has nothing to do with the way you look or anything like that. I just tend to be a little bit picky when it comes to picking photos that I want to reference from and study from. Yeah, I've been really enjoying drawing with pen lately. I feel like it is making me render better in pencil. I mean, I'm not sure if the last two just pencil drawings that I did here is really indicative of that, but I feel like I understand how to render the forms better. I mean, as soon as I say that, I feel like I'm kind of struggling here. I have to make sure not to go too heavy because obviously we can't erase ballpoint pen. But yeah, I guess that's why it just makes me more selective about where to place my lines. Whereas with pencil, because I know that I can go back and erase things, I'm just less careful about it. Drawing in pen is just so much more striking, I find. The shadows can be so crisp. And that's really satisfying. And it's amazing how much control you can get with a ballpoint pen. Like, I really had no idea the type of lines that you could get. So I'm gonna make this eye here kind of the simple eye, and this eye the more kind of complex eye, because that's where I feel like my attention is going when I look at the photo. So gotta be careful with the placement of the pupil or the iris. Also gotta be careful not to overstate it, because that really is the killer of eyes, when you do a little bit too much. So I want to get this cast shadow of her hair on the face for a little like sense of overlap. I'm gonna put this ear inside the shadow, maybe indicate a little bit of anatomy there. But for the most part, just kind of group that all together. Yeah, hair is gonna be a little bit tricky. I always have the hardest time trying to figure out what to do with the hair, so I'm kind of leaving that until the end. For now, I'm concentrating on getting some of these just darker patches that I see in the hair, and see if that's kind of enough to bring the forms out. I think in some ways it is. Let's see how light of a line I can get with the ballpoint pen. It's quite incredible. I really love showing subtlety in the forms. And yeah, let's carry on with the nose. Again, I would like to show that there is this like highlight on the nose. So in order to do that, I do have to go into the nose a little bit and give it some value, but hopefully not too much. And hopefully just follow the curve of the ball of the nose there, so you really get a sense of the shape of the nose. Not sure how successful that is, but it is what it is. Starting to put this hair into shadow now, and hopefully combine it with the face that is in shadow here pretty seamlessly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how to design this area here just yet, so I'm just gonna settle for that at the moment. Get some of the subtler features like that, and the jowl area, not too much, and here underneath the lips. I went a little bit heavy here with the lines when I was blocking in, but so it goes. Maybe I can like kind of blend it in somehow. Yeah, I do want to indicate this cheek a little bit, so I'm going in very lightly, following the curve of the cheek, because I like to show a little bit of roundness whenever I can. And this kind of line here, I think for the most part we're pretty much ready to call this one done. Or I'm pretty much ready to call it done. And yeah, you know, I don't really want to go too heavy in the hair, because I feel like that might take away from the face. I kind of really like how exaggerated her head shape is. So let's just kind of finish this up here. Let's give her a little mole and then a little mole here. Maybe a little bit more shading on this side, because it's receiving less light than on this side. Construction, please. Please. Okay. Let's get your handle in. There you go. Thanks so much again. Actually, let me just clean up some of the outer. Yeah, her hair is less straight, a little bit wavy. So let's try to get some of that waviness to come through. Oh yeah, I think I like that better. Yeah, I like that. All right, next. So for our last drawing for today's video, we finally have our first male subject. I didn't get as many male submissions. This one is a great picture from Wallace MT. Again, it is out in natural light. I know clearly where the light is coming from this side, and casting a shadow onto that side just makes it easy for me to see the forms. So yeah, this one I'm also going to be using ballpoint pen because I felt like I had an easier time doing this portrait here. So hopefully this one will go as smoothly, though I feel like I might struggle with this kind of a slightly upturned frontal view of this face. I'm just trying to make it look more three-dimensional than flat. It can definitely have the tendency to look flat if I'm not careful, so I'm gonna try to do my best to block in as well as I can and try to get that like depth to come across, even though it is a very front-on view. That can be a little bit tricky with a view like this. But just trying to get some of the overlaps in place. Also, the angle is a little bit tough. Hopefully I can get it to come across okay. Trying to get this kind of upturned angle right. I try to look for these like down-facing planes. So it's like a visual cue for me, okay, like this face is turned upward, and so I'm going to be seeing a lot more of those down-facing planes. Hopefully I haven't made his face too wide. We can maybe kind of fix that later. I actually do have the tendency to make faces wider than they are, just because that's kind of my style, I suppose. I tend to draw more rounder faces. That's always kind of a struggle for me. Even when I'm drawing from photo reference, I just have the tendency to kind of flatten things out a little bit more. I feel like I drew the mouth a little bit too low. Yeah, I already feel like I have to carve into the face a lot more because I drew it a lot wider than it needs to be. Yeah, hopefully Wallace doesn't mind getting a little, what is this? A little face shaving. So because the eyes are so, like they're just kind of barely open, you're not gonna get much light in there. So just I'll just put them all in shadow, I guess. Yeah, I definitely have the tendency to draw the faces wider than they are. Wider and less, like more squished and less narrow. It's just how I like to draw my characters. So I need to now make a conscious effort to draw the features a little bit closer together. I feel like I'm not capturing the elegance of of his face. He looks a little bargain basement version. Or bargain basement? Yeah, bargain basement. I know that sounds awful, but that's how I feel when I look at this. I'm like, oh, hey, we're not done. Let's stick it in there. Have some faith. Okay, starting to kind of come together. Told you, this is gonna be a tough angle. Look how much correction I'm doing from that original block-in. All right, let's get this shadow shape here. And I can just simply fill it in like so. No need to make it complicated here. I think it's starting to shape up after carving into that face a little bit more. Again, I really hope people don't take anything I draw here too, like, personally, if I don't draw them the way they see themselves. Like, artists are just going to accentuate certain things that they want to accentuate. So hopefully no one takes it too seriously. Get this ear here. Very interesting twisty ears. Let's just keep moving down. Things are finally shaping up. That was not the easiest drawing, but I can see the finish line now. So that's good. What else? I guess some of the stubble, maybe a bit of the neck to hide some of this block-in line from earlier. I'm not actually sure how to indicate on this kind of facial hair. I have not had too much experience. So hopefully this doesn't look too bad. The mouth could have been done a bit better. It's a little ambiguous right now, but so it goes. Let's wrap it up. All right, I think that is as good as it's going to get. I hope you like how this turned out. Let's get in your handle. Wallace MT. So that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching me draw some of my followers. It was a lot of fun. It started out a little bit rocky, I think. Feel a little bit bad for Grace. I feel like it's kind of my weakest drawing. However, I think overall they look really great together. That is why I like to do more than one drawing when I'm doing these kinds of demonstration videos. And those of you out there who would like to have a chance of being drawn by me or painted by me or whatever, of course I can't make any guarantees, but if you would like a chance then use the hashtag drawmechrishong in one of your posts, and that way, because I am following that hashtag, I will be able to see it, and if it does spark my interest, then maybe one day I will end up using your photo as reference. So yeah, thank you so much to these four for allowing me to draw them and include them in today's video. Let me know your thoughts down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and like this video if you would like to see more videos like this. Thank you again, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!